What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. Yu-Gi-Oh! Official news has been put out that Divine Arsenal AA ZEUS Yep is reprinted in the tins, as well as the fact that the world premiere pack over in the OCG got to spoil our 10 exclusives, and due to delays, we have like 1 week with them before the OCG. Now, they're better than last year's DM/Blue Eye support, but not by too much, so it doesn't spice up the tins to where this is a reason to chase after them, but I'm gonna be a little ranty here. All of a sudden, oh my gosh, AA ZEUS is reprinted, I've got to scramble and sell mine. I've been telling you, if you're not playing with it, you should have already had it listed / been selling it. $20 sucked out of the room. You see the last sale, $6.99, nice 68, and then it's all of a sudden 50 flat with lowest now at 52, 52, 53 people scrambling to undercut each other. If it could be in the megatons and I was still a vendor, I would be selling those cards way before today's date, especially with the fact that Dawn of Majesty had commons that spoiled and leaked out stuff in the tins. Now it could be a lot more things, and I've received more pushback than ever from people going, oh no John, it's gonna be Nadir Servant missing the tins. Specifically, a lot of people calling Nadir Servant to tie other products into the tins. I like that people love to shoot their shot with big brain theories and assume they know how Konami is going to operate, when last year, oh, Pot of Extravagance will miss the 10 like Ash and Imperm because it had a reprint before. Oh no, it ended up in there. Apollos's slated for Gold Series, it's gonna miss the 10s, ended up in there. You're playing with fire if you have XF stock of cards and you're going, well, I'm gonna theorize because I'm either lazy or don't want to move this, that I'm not going to because Konami's not gonna put it in the 10s. We'll see when that full set spoiler is here. Somebody's going to be beating their chest telling me they were right on this call or that call, that they found the next Levianeer, but when you can only point at Levianeer versus other cards that already had the reprints ahead of time rather than missing a needed reprint, there's few and far between examples of home runs. So yeah, also with a card that can be in the 10s, Titaniclad is bought out following the Fallen of Albaz structure deck announcement. This is a little big brain, but still not in my opinion. With the Megatins, I want to tell you that vendors are going to get them around $10.80 to $12 a piece. You pay that $20 MSRP or got those great early bird specials because vendors can spend so little. And then also right now, unheard of, we see they're $220 at this point in pre-sales, where in years past you could still get $180, $175 at this point. Eternity Code and Rise of the Duels have this super hyped, and when vendors are able to pull out those singles much cheaper than you, and it's one of the most open products of the year and the competition ramps up, even with those reprints being lower rarity, it helps drag the prices of those other cards down. So people going, this will be max rarity, we won't get a structure deck, still theorizing by the way, because we could get the structure deck, but Konami has pieced them up, and as a community we're tattered a little bit by it. So this secret rare will be strong value. Well, do you really think it spiked to 90 yesterday and is floating at 34 today, that it's really gonna hold this kind of value at that point? I could see it being 18, 20, but if there's an ultra rare, super rare reprint around the corner still hollow, I really don't see this being a $35 card at that point, unless it just takes over the meta to an extent. Also, Albion, it's a little bit of a better call because it's not going to be in this year's 10s, so it could not have a reprint by the time we get the new support. It is around $3, $4 quickly spikes and only has, I think, like 10 listings or so around here. 9 listings, actually, at this point. So I think this was a little bit more of the big brain call of a fusion to go for versus one that's immediately up for a reprint slot. Also, looking around the Rise of the Duels, just like MCU's cap, I don't give up. Somebody in the comment sections even like, John, you should give up telling people to worry about the Megatons. Again, I know most people are rational, that they either paid so little on card they don't care, or they want to have the max rarity version. This is a hobby, they're not going to move it versus listening. A lot of people, though, trying to make those crazy calls and have other people listen to them. Shadol Shizm is still going down in quantities and up in price with that, oh, it's gonna miss the 10s mentality. This isn't even the people I need to play it now mentality. It's a lot of people going for it, genuinely thinking, oh, it would be so weird if it's secret or super, I can't even imagine I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Maybe they'll want to shut down Shadols at some point, but not this list. Like, guys, your theories, good to have them, good to practice them, and when you're wrong, please learn from them as well. I've been around the block almost 20 years with how Konami's operated, and even then I'm gonna make wrong calls. So people that got in last year that have never seen a Megaton, trying to say this off history they barely experienced, sometimes it's gonna be like that, and I still gotta respond, man. Junk Synchron, every single high-end version is getting bought out. The secret rares have been floating around this price for some times, but now there's less than 10 near mint listings of the Ultra. Remember, this comes in a product where foil edgeware is on the card out of the package a lot of the time, so it's really hard to actually get near mints of these consistently back in the day. They're 5 to 6 for the Ultra. Secret still looks way nicer. Dual terminal version is down to 7 listings. Of course, Duelist League buyouts are bound to happen on cards like this, and some are still pretty cheap if you want to get them using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. But if you plan to resell them, do realize, even if it spikes up from the last few going, sales rates are terrible on Duelist Leagues, which is why you still see them at this price. And then Duelist Saga's version is down to 7 listings, so people really chasing after higher-end junk Synchrons with the new Stardust stuff out of Dawn of Majesty, and this being an actual option within the deck. And Junk Speeder, actually I have not looked up Junk Speeder in a little bit, so I just want to check in on his different versions. Still pretty well stocked. Legendary Duelist, we're actually not here for the heroes or the magician stuff per se, but here it is on screen if you're interested. Very low quantities of magician souls and liquids still. Junk Converter has also been going up in price, and I also noticed Satellite Synchrons down in quantities, as well as Satellite Warrior, which is a very good synchro if you have missed this and what it does. This reads, if this card is synchro summoned, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of synchro monsters in your graveyard, destroy them, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card destroyed. It is a very good card overall. If the Synchro Summon card is destroyed, you can special summon up to 3 level 8 or lower Warrior, Synchron, and or Stardust Synchro monsters with different names from your graveyard as well. So it has a backup effect in addition to a power effect of getting very big and clearing a board. A little bit of a penny stonk that's locked behind a Legendary Duelist, but please Konami, someday, Legendary Duelist Season 3 maybe before Hidden Arsenal Chapter 2. Legendary Dragon decks are at 180 sealed. This is mind-blowing to me, but a card locked behind this with everybody looking towards Dark Magician support coming up with the 10s and Battles of Chaos. Dark Magician the Dragon Knight only has this one printing locked behind this now insanely priced product. I would consider getting this sooner than later, even though it's a structure starter special pack deck, legendary deck as it were, and the last successful one. I would definitely consider having copies of this moving forward, because the Dark Magician deck will be playing it if it has any interest, and more people will be going, okay, fine, grabbing their wallets. They had chances at 9s, 12s, and now it's 15. Where it goes versus will it eventually get a reprint? Your guess is as good as mine. Would look pretty awesome in gold rare, if I'm honest. Also, other stuff that's been notable, Quintet Magician keeps getting brought up. It's an interesting card. Magician of Chaos with the new ritual theme has actually been going up and down in quantities. And Bomb Between Teacher and Student, I told you guys to get this forever go around $1.50 to $2. This card, as more Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl stuff together, gets good, gets better. If you control a Dark Magician, special summon a Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard, you can set one Dark Magic attack, Dark Burning attack, Dark Burning Magic, or Dark Magic Twin Burst directly from your deck. So a lot of good generic stuff for the, well, I shouldn't say generic, more specific stuff for Dark Magician goodness is over in Dual Power, a set that has been aging for some time and is a lot more for its sealed than the singles would let you on to believe. So you might want to pick up those singles as well if you're interested. And a penny stonk. Where are the penny stonks, Sean? Everybody's doing these. You should get these now. I love Cali Effect series, by the way. I also noticed, Robbie, they've got some good shots on some cards lately. Magicalized Fusion is, as a secret rare, getting a lot of talk and chatter. And then you have the super rare behind it in Dark Neostorm, only these 2 printings. I do think the secret rare looks amazing, and there is potential for it to see some play. Fusion summon a spellcaster fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed from your field or graveyard. So that graveyard access allows you to double into certain fusions or go even crazier than you would before. And I do kind of like it in theory, but Dark Magician has to be meta for any of this to really matter, or at least Rogue to generate hype. But casual also doesn't mean broke, and we've seen money spent on casual cards before and end up taking them off the market too. Also, I told you guys Dark Magic Circle secret rares are something you'd want to consider. Those are already considerably up in price. Ultra rares are even beginning to go now, so you might want to consider just having your Hello copy cheap rather than being left with a common. Going to Dawn of Majesty and the Cool Off. Wow, Ready Fusion is nearing $20 if this is actually right. No, it's still around 23, 24. It's just TCG players system playing tricks on me. Aluber still sitting around $45 though, and then the B Troopers are chilling out. This is mostly just back and forth $1 on certain ultras, and it really seems to have stabilized. So if you've been looking for Dawn of Majesty, now is about the time to consider, okay, these prices are stable. Will they just slowly go off, or is this the bottom out versus where future support helps it? Really seems like about now is where you want to start considering your cards. TG Wonder Magician got brought up in the Discord when I added everybody, nice ping, in order to get some picks for Market Watch, and it seems like it's gone up versus last month. This is one I don't pay too much attention to. It feels like overhyped history with Hulk, especially when you have Shooting Riser Dragon, or we got the Desert Locust in the TCG versus the OCG not having access. So I feel like this one gets hyped time and time again where it shouldn't, but it has actual sales for the first ed around 40, and you do see the lowest listed still around 38. I don't know. I've just never felt this one. If we're going TGs, we're talking plant format. My boy TG Hyper Librarian Secret Rare has been up for a bit. The Ultra Jump promo ends up in that collectible aspect. A lot of people remember having to get it for a certain WCQ in time where they had to scramble for this at $50 to $60. So I like this guy a lot more if we're talking TGs. Now on the Live Twin front, I've been looking around, and Kisi Kill continues to go up. Last we looked it was 8, now it's 9, and the Starlights are getting very low on quantity, so if you've been considering the Starlight and going fully hollow on this deck, you might want to do it sooner than later. But yeah, Lightning Overdrive, very interesting, since it probably won't have reprints for a while, and that Link 4 is coming. Now, something I haven't talked about, we watched an extremely entertaining game on live stream of Live Twins and Rated doing its thing. It gets to play a lot of real back row along with hand traps by how the engine is able to pop off, which is what's impressive. They're still going to be playing, though, Unchained Abomination, and the Secret Rare is about the same price as the Ultra Rare. I would consider having your copy if you're thinking about Live Twins. A little bit of a penny stonk there as well, because I think this, you know, it works in Dragon Link, now it's going to work in another deck, and people want access to a card like this. Very, very good underestimated card. Fantasma also, I saw it drop down on the Live Twin deck. Very active during this format, still up in market price in several places. People are allergic to gold rares no matter how nice you make them look, so that's the cheapest option. But be aware, Fantasma is up there in price. Maybe another reprint somewhere. It would be weird to be in battles, though. You already have both rarities. They already did it in gold rare, although they could do this art gold. I don't know. We could use another reprint of it, but I don't know where on the horizon that would land. And finally, I brought this up in the past when this spiked to $18. The fact it's still around 15 plus with only 13 copies. Ancient Gear Fortress is a card you could have in your bulk worth a little money. I remember the original memes of people pulling out the Maxi and throwing this in the garbage. Well, isn't it funny that another card's worth almost, like, you know, the 1.5x, 2x of Max C, and Max C himself is worth the original price of the structure. We did get the Dinosaur deck rewaved, but we did not get Machine Reactor rewaved, so there's a little bit of value in your bulk you might not have known you had. Thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing if you haven't, if you're sticking around this long? Like the video if you enjoy the conversation, and besides my little rants lately, I just really want to come across as, yo, consider your value before it's here one day and gone the next.